New tariffs on imports into the United States went into effect this morning. The first step in what experts expect to be a trade war with global implications. But what impact will it have here in Southern Illinois? News 3's Andrew Feather takes a look.
The United States fired the first shots in the long-discussed trade war with China Friday morning as President Donald Trump imposed new tariffs on $34 billion worth of Chinese goods. Beijing immediately responded by enacting 25% tariffs on a variety of American products, including soybeans, pork, and electric vehicles.
This is what happens when you get into a trade war. I kind of subscribe to the argument that no one really wins these things.
Republican Congressman John Shimkus says a fine line exists when it comes to tariffs. What's good for one industry may be bad for others. After President Trump announced the new tariffs, including a 25% tariff on imported steel, Pennsylvania-based U.S. Steel restarted its furnaces at its Granite City plant, adding 800 jobs. But while American steel companies are firing up their furnaces, industries relying on imported goods are cutting back. Last week, Missouri Senator Claire McCaskill spoke out against the tariffs after Mid-Continent Nail, the country's largest nail manufacturer, laid off 60 workers and warned up to 200 more layoffs may be coming. The Poplar Bluff-based manufacturer says the layoffs were necessary because of the new tariffs on steel it imports from Mexico.
Every tariff brings consequences, and that's why it's hard to just do tariffs in isolation without understanding what the consequence is going to be downstream.
And it isn't just the manufacturing industry that's impacted. China's new tariffs on soybeans leaves many farmers in Illinois wary of what lies ahead.
You have this conflict, and a lot of producers, they want to see those steel workers working, but they don't want their business model and plan to get so disruptive that they have to start shutting down operations.
Illinois farmers harvest more than 600 million bushels of soybeans every year. 60% of those are exported, with about half going to China. Researchers at the University of Illinois and Ohio State University project that China's 25% tariff on U.S. soybeans could have drastic effects. They estimate over the next 4 years, the income for the average mid-size Illinois grain farm would decline by more than 87%. Shimkus said something needed to be done to help American industry, and President Trump has promised the looming trade war won't impact the agriculture business, but adds the signs are still concerning.
He also says that he will try to find ways to mitigate the damage done to rural America, but the uncertainty and the risk to what could happen to our commodities, especially beans and pork, are very scary.
President Trump says he is considering imposing new tariffs on an additional $500 billion worth of Chinese goods. Officials in Beijing say this will be the, quote, biggest trade war in economic history. Andrew Feather, News 3.